So a lot of people ask me, hey Rob, how come Rod isn't on the show more? And I think I should take a second to answer this. Yeah, he could be on my right hand the entire broadcast, sure. And you know what else? Why not? The backdrop can lower in quality to that of, I don't know, something familiar. And, we can sing songs, do arts and crafts, learn life lessons, make those Coke bottles out of gelatin. Yeah. But, we can't do that here on the Rob Rodriguez Show because last time I checked, we're on YouTube and we're not on Sprout, okay? What's your deal? My deal? My deal is this show isn't brought to you by the number 5 and the letter R, okay? Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Rob Rodriguez. Yeah, we got a great one for you. And I don't normally say that. Not singling out one show from the next, but it's a 2 truths and 1 lie month here at the Rob Rodriguez Show. And all month long, we're going to start the show off with hints that come in 2 truths and 1 lie. I'm sure you know how the game works. So let's read off those hints to you for the first week. Alright, here are your hints. How many times am I going to say that? Okay, here we go. I was a Barney kid till I was 18. I write celebrity fan fiction. I didn't watch the Titanic. You will get your answer at the end of the show. But for now, have we got a show for you? So I know recently I've been dwelling on the past a little too much, hence this graphic that you saw last week. But back in high school I was a TV production student, which is maybe 1 step above AV Club, but we actually edited video and we didn't play with wires. Yeah, I still don't know the components. All I know is that one's yellow, one's white, and one's red. And they hook up nicely to a DVD player. But yeah, where was I? Oh yes. Now, I remember doing projects for the student film festival. And I remember, we were up against the homeschooled kids. We were up against a virtual school. And we saw their project. It looked so theatrical, so beautiful. It looked like they put a lot of effort into their video. And then we saw our video. Yeah, I know I shouldn't do this, but let me just show you that video in question that was turned into the film festival that I turned in. Yeah, so basically, their theatrical masterpiece versus my homemade canned soup video. Yeah, I mean, clearly they had a lot of free time, but then we saw their video and we're like, well yeah, they have a lot of time on their hands, and we have algebra and English, and some of us even have to find a date for the prom, hello? And some of us are trying to work for grad bash tickets. Hello? I'm probably going to start answering my phone like that. Just imagine. Hello? So I guess what I'm saying is, when you have a lot of time on your hands, you have all the time in the world to get stuff out of the way. You can finally finish that season of Friends that you're lacking on Netflix, for crying out loud. You can finally see how Monica and Chandler got caught with their hookup. Yeah, now you're no longer confused on how they're married in one episode and just friends in another episode after that one. And you know what else? Why not? You can go outside and finally fix the chain on that bike that's just been sitting upside down for a long time. Sure, the weight you're pressing on that recently fixed bike, sure, it might wear out after 12 hours, but hey, you took the time to finally fix your bike. That's worth patting yourself on the back, isn't it? God bless the USA at this point in time, because you finally did something about that bike. You should feel good about yourself. I have to be honest with you, audience. Recently, I obtained a lot of free time, and pretty long-term free time, I might add. As you can imagine, I'm not working right now, and this morning I found out my car died. Both I'm at fault for, no one else's fault but my own. And let's stop being negative and think positive for a second. We can take from a bad situation and learn from that mistake. Just like I'm sure Star Trek learned from that fifth movie. And, they learned from Superman 4, A Quest for Peace. I almost said A New Hope. That's Star Wars. And that's one of the greatest movies of all time. The opinion of many people say. Now, normally I wouldn't do a show the week something this huge happens. But you know what? I'm just going to fight it, and I'm going to do the show the way I've always done it. And that's what it's all about. Now, this emotional tango doesn't need to turn into the hokey pokey. So, that's just what it's all about. So, I know what you're thinking. My parents are definitely thinking this. But, Rob, what are you going to do next? Well, I can answer one thing that's not going to happen. I'm not going to Disney World, that's for sure. Yeah, you just won the Super Bowl. What are you going to do next? I'm going to Disney World. Yeah, we're not going to do that, because, listen, what happened to me doesn't deserve a pity party, doesn't even deserve a party catered by Party City. This was my own decision, and I'm going to learn from this mistake one step at a time. And hopefully we can get through this episode without having to bring this up any longer. Maybe here and there we're going to throw in like some self-deprecation, but I don't like self-deprecation because honestly it just makes myself hurt my feelings. Like another me is just standing right here and he's like saying, yeah, that's right. Feel sorry for yourself. Enjoy that Diet Coke at the bar. Maybe I will. I'm just kidding, ladies and gentlemen. I don't talk to myself like that anyway. Well, we have a lot of show to fill, so that being said, I'm gonna need a minute. So if you ask anybody who knows me personally, hey, what's Rob all about? What is he like? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna say something like, well, he's very creative, very, very nice, very ambitious. But one thing I would change about Rob, if he would let me, if I was in his shoes, I would give him a more realistic aspect of the world. Because, I don't know, he's a little crazy, he's 20 years old and still gets those celebrity crushes that should have left him by the time he was like 15 or so. Well, to that I say, well, apparently we no longer live in a universe where people can have celebrity crushes. Isn't that right, Jennifer Love Hewitt? I mean, I find my imagination to be a blessing and a curse. Because it's a blessing because without my imagination and creativity, I wouldn't have over 100 episodes of such a creative platform in a late night style format. But, it's a curse because let's face it, even I can admit a lot of my thoughts are unrealistic. What I did earlier this week was very unrealistic. It was actually ridiculous, if you ask me. I mean, usually this is a pretty open platform. It's like meant to be It's meant to humor. It's meant to humor situations, and I feel honestly like I'm Donald Duck in that propaganda video that a lot of you had to sit through in history class. Like, we're talking about a real event that happened, and then you have to do a regular show. What's that about? Well, it's time for that weekly list known as the possibility list. It's kind of like when you're waiting to hear a reply back to your text, and when your phone actually goes off, you're annoyed to find out that it's actually a Twitter alert. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, a lot on my mind this week. But this week's list is titled 5 Rejected Friends Episodes. Alright, so as you may know, Friends styles its episode titles a certain way that they always start with the one where, the one when. And this list, we came up with some titles that we, in the spirit of the list, just made up. So, at number 5, the one with the shark jump. Number 4, the one after the last one. You know, because I had a feeling after I saw the finale a couple times, you know, I wonder if Ross and Rachel stayed together. Don't you ever get that vibe? I don't know, and maybe it's just me. Number 3, the one where the rent is due. Number 2, the one where Chandler and Monica get a prenup. And number 1, 5 Rejected Friends episodes. The one where they meet the mother. Yeah, How I Met Your Mother and Friends are pretty similar, give or take. Well, that is the possibility list for you this week. Yeah. So, here's something we haven't done in a while. It's time to take a look in a book and make something up. It's Paraphrasing Rainbow. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. What a recommended read for the book club. Only in the world of fiction are a pair of jeans considered the snuggie logic of one size fits all. And, oh, also, if you cheat in basketball, as in traveling, this book isn't for you. Okay, it's time for the reveal. So, let me remind you of those hints once again. I was a Barney kid till I was 18. I write celebrity fan fiction. I didn't watch the Titanic. Okay, let me eliminate one of the truths right now. The first truth is, I write celebrity fan fiction. Yeah, and I know it's a pathetic thing I do in my spare time. You know, part of me wants to be an executive producer, so you gotta cast it somewhere, you know? Anyway, so it's between I was a Barney kid till I was 18, and I didn't watch the Titanic. The lie is I didn't watch the Titanic. I mean, really, who hasn't? In fact, I dedicated the first segment of my first show to the movie in the first place. So yeah, that's kind of pathetic that one of the truths was that I was a... Let me explain that before the show ends. You know, you quit watching a kid show, then you have a baby brother born in 2003. You're 7 at the time, okay? And then said kid show is still on the air. And you know your mindset. You start watching it, and then you're like, wow, I'm back into this. So yeah, that lasted till I was 18. Yeah. Why did it last till I was 18? Well, simple. There's Sprout stopped playing it. What is wrong with me? Well, that is the show for you this week. You know to follow me on social media. Until next time, I swear by the end of this weekend of this video's air date, you will see this one in the last 2 weeks on dailymotion.com. Yeah, we've been lacking there lately. So, stay tuned for the next edition of Two Truths and One Lie. We're doing it all month long. And I'll see you next time, okay?